Hey everyone, I am Nixie and welcome to the final manga haul of 2023. Now we don't have like too much, and then there's like quite a few titles that have been pushed back a few months as well. So we're going to get into it as usual. We're going to go from the brand new releases that were released in December, and then we'll go on to everything else that I hauled throughout the month of December. And as usual, we're just going to go by publisher. So we'll start off with Viz Media, and the first one is a Shoujo Beat one, and that is Rainbow Days Volume 7. I still haven't caught up with this. I've read the first like 2 volumes so far. Like, it's fine. It isn't like super duper cute. Like, I've been in that sort of like mood for like really wholesome fluffy like shoujos. This isn't quite it, and it is quite a commitment. I think it's like 17 volumes long, so we've still got like another 10 volumes to go yet, and it is from like the guy's perspective, who is trying his best to find love. Like I say, I've only read like the first couple of volumes, so yeah, I really need to catch up. But yeah, volume 7's out now. They are coming out like really quickly as well. But yeah. And then the next one, we have volume 36 of My Hero Academia. As you can see, we have Dabi and Todoroki on the front here, so it is all coming to a head with these guys. Huge fight in this volume as well, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people really excited to pick this one up. Then we have Blade of the Moon Princess, volume 2. I still haven't read the first volume yet, but this is from the same creator as Spy Family and T-Star. I really enjoyed T-Star. I haven't picked up Spy Family yet. But I am interested to get into this because this creator's work all seems to be like very different from one another. So yeah, volume 2 came out in December. Next we have a super cute one. We have Love Insight volume 5. I really like this series. So this is about a delinquent who falls in love with a partially sighted lady, and they are really cute together. Like, I really enjoy this series. I haven't read volume 5 just yet, but I have been enjoying it up till now. I really like the characters that are in it. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to read this one. Then we have, I think this one came out a little bit early, and that is Cat-Eyed Boy volume 2. I really like these hardcovers from Viz that they're doing, and this is like a reprinted, because the originals, the paperbacks, are out of print, and they have been out of print for a long time as well. But yeah, I really like these. If you are a horror fan, then definitely go ahead and check this out. I also feel like a lot of people would enjoy this series as well. Like, if you kind of getting a little bit like I don't want to say sick of, but getting a little bit fed up of just seeing like Junji Ito like everywhere, or you just want to like branch out a little bit from him, then I highly recommend that you go ahead and pick this up. It's a very fun read, interesting. It's about a half demon half human boy that doesn't really belong anywhere. So yeah, if you just want to add another creator into your collection, then go ahead and check this one out. And then we have volume 1 of Neighborhood Story. So this is the same creator as Nana and Paradise Kiss. This is like a very nicely presented volume. It's got like the little like dust box as well. It is on the pricier side, so this is supposed to be like £20 UK pounds, or $25. So it is definitely pricier. Like, just for reference, like Cat-Eyed Boy, which is like the hardcover that's like super thick as well, like this is £28. So yeah, I was kind of a little bit shocked that it is on the pricier side. But yeah, this is the next installment from that creator. I haven't read this one yet. I did see someone pick up this volume 1, and theirs was like a white cover. So I don't know if like there's different covers. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm excited to get into this. Like, if you love Nana or Paradise Kiss, I'm sure you're going to be excited to pick this one up as well. So that is basically it from Viz Media. Like a very like just a handful of stuff that I picked up this month. So next up we'll move on to like, we've got a couple of random volumes from like Square Enix, Dark Horse, and then we'll go on to Kodansha. So next we have volume 2 of Hellsing. I think this is an early release as well. So if you don't want to collect like the really nice big like hardcovers, like they are expensive and they are quite chunky as well, then Dark Horse are finally reprinting the paperbacks. This is the updated translation version from the hardbacks rather than the out of print paperbacks. But yeah, so volume 2 is out already. I feel like that they are probably going to churn these out like pretty quickly, considering that they already have like the translations all like good to go and everything from the hardbacks. So yeah, volume 2 is out now. Then we have volume 9 of, we're moving on to Square Enix, we have volume 9 of Cherry Magic. This is such an adorable series. I really love this, and I'm really excited that the anime is going to be coming out in January. So if you're looking for a BL, this is an office romance and it is super cute. So this is where a guy, he reaches his 30s, still a virgin, and he has basically ability to read people's minds, and he discovers that his co-worker actually has a crush on him. It is really fluffy, super cute. So if you want something that's more on the wholesome side and adorable side, then definitely go ahead and pick this up. These do seem to be coming out pretty quickly as well. Like, you can already pre-order up to volume 12 as well, so we can get up to volume 12 at least next year. But yeah, super cute. Then we have another absolutely adorable series, and that is The Ice Guy and the Cool Girl. This is so cute. So this is about a guy who is a descendant of a frost spirit, and whenever he's like emotions get heightened, like he gets excited, nervous or whatever, it really affects like his surroundings. Like, he causes blizzards, or when he's nervous he like freezes up. And he has a crush on his colleague in the office who is like this really you know, dead like calm, easygoing woman that he really likes, and these two are so cute together. I think there is an anime as well of this, but yeah, some of the stuff that happens in this volume is just like so cute. So I highly recommend, if you want something just a bit heartwarming, then go ahead and pick this one up. I'm really interested actually to watch the anime. I just don't like watching animes before I've like caught up in the mangas. I'd rather like read first and then watch the animes. So we're gonna move on to Kodansha. So the first one, I just got this literally like yesterday, so I haven't read it yet, and that is My Ultramarine Sky. So this is from the same creator as My Summer Review, if you've read that. This is the same creator. This is just a one shot, and this is like a friends to lovers type trope. So this is where these two guys have been in the same class like all throughout school, and then in their last year they get separated. One of them confesses to the other while he thinks that he's asleep, but he hears everything that he says, so it's sort of that blossoming romance. But it sounds super cute, so I'm excited to get into this one as well. Next we have a brand new series as well that's just started. I think this was an early release as well, I'm not quite sure. And this is How I Met Your Soulmate Volume 1. This is like, I really liked this first volume. So this is about what's her name, Yuki. So basically she's looking for love. She goes out to a club with her friend who says like, you know, clubs are where it's at these days. This is where like people go to meet other people. So she reluctantly agrees to go along, and she ends up looking after this guy who is way too drunk. So he wants to like apologize to her, they agreed that he's going to try and set up a mixer so she can meet someone, and all of that stuff. But yeah, it's really, really cute, and I am rooting for Yuki. She's adorable, and yeah, it's a very, very cute series so far, and I think it's going to be a really good one. I'm not entirely sure how many volumes it's going to be or whether it's ongoing, but this is, if you like shoujos, if you want a romance, there's going to be a bit of drama in this as well, then I highly, highly recommend this. Another absolutely adorable series is In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. So if you watched my last manga video, then you'd know that I've only just recently picked this up, and I can't believe I've waited so long to like grab this series. It's so adorable. So this is volume 6 that just came out this month. I think this is my favourite shoujo creator. Like, absolutely adorable, these two. So this is about Yu, who is she's called the prince at school because she's taller than a lot of the other girls. She's like a very pretty masculine face, and she often gets mistaken for a guy, so they call her a prince, and she's never really been treated like a girl until she bumps into this other guy who instantly recognizes her as a girl and thinks that she's really pretty and just wants to get close to her. It's really, really adorable. If you like things like Honey Lemon Soda, a horror ride, like if you like those types of shoujos, then I think you'll really like this. Is the way that this volume ended there, like there's gonna be some drama coming up, and I don't think I'm prepared for it. Like there's gonna be a spoiler coming, which I don't really appreciate because I just want these two to be happy. But this is super, super cute so far, and I'm so glad that like I went ahead and picked this up. I can't believe it took me so long to like get it. And then we have volume 3 of Windbreaker. This sort of like wrapped up a lot of the fights that were happening in volume 2, so we are about the climax, the finale fight between these two gangs. So if you have an itch for delinquent manga, or you're sort of like missing Tokyo Revengers, then go ahead and pick this up. This is a really good series, and I've enjoyed it from the get-go. It's very, very interesting. Like I say, it's a delinquent manga, so like gangs, rivalry, all of that sort of good stuff. Like I say, if you are missing Tokyo Revengers, then I feel like that this would itch that scratch. But yeah, so volume 3 just came out this month. Then we have My Lovesick Life as a 90s Otaku, volume 1. So this is about a lady who grew up being an otaku in the 90s, as it says, when it was kind of like very much kind of like shunned by people, like, you know, it's not the cool thing. And she's now got a daughter. She's a single mother. She's now got a daughter, and she is very openly like into anime, manga, all of that good stuff. Like, she's a stan. So yeah, and her mother kind of like can't believe that like people are allowed to be so open about what they like now and not get bullied. So this is kind of like her reminiscing about like obviously how she grew up and like the people that she met. Like, she had a crush on this guy who was like, I hate otakus, like they're disgusting. So this is kind of like her reminiscing about that time. But yeah, very fun read, and I'm sure there's going to be like a lot of people who can relate to her story as well. Okay, so that was everything from Kodansha that I picked up as well. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to 7 Seas. So we have volume 5 of Colourless. I still meant to pick up volume 1, still haven't done it yet. But the artwork, like, I really love like this artwork in here, like the little flashes of colour. Like, I know that I'm going to enjoy this, and hopefully January sales and all that, I'm going to hopefully pick up the first volume so I can go ahead and finally catch up with this, because I've been meaning to do it forever. Next we have a one shot. We have Anyhow the Rabbit is Infatuated with the Puppy. This was so cute. This is adorable. So this is just a one shot. And this is about a guy who is absolutely obsessed with shoujo manga, and that's what he wants to find in life. Like, he just wants that really fluffy, wholesome, like romance, like whirlwind romance. And he doesn't like to sort of like mix with like the office parties and stuff like that happens. Instead, he likes to spend his time by playing this online game where you create a character, and he has become very close with another player, and he sort of like has romantic feelings for them, and eventually they meet up, they agree to meet up, they go to this convention. So it's about those two, and like I say, it's absolutely adorable. I really enjoyed this. It was super cute. Like, this will be like on my reread list, because yeah, it's like a comfort read, this one. Then we have volume 4 of Ex Yakuza and Stray Kitten. This is such a fun read. So this is about what's his name, Sabu. So this is about Sabu. I love that it's from the cat's perspective as well. So he is a stray. He gets picked up by Jin, who is this ex-Yakuza, very scary looking guy, and Sabu thinks that he is about to be like offed at like any moment, whereas Jin is actually very caring and looks after all of these like stray animals. Super adorable, it's super funny as well. So yeah, like if you want just like a nice relaxing like fun read, then I highly recommend this. I mean, it's got animals in it, so what's not to love? Then we have a brand new series. We started a threesome volume 1. So this is, as it sounds, it's about 2 childhood friends, and they meet this lady, and they basically become a throuple. It's kind of sad in some places about like how they're having to like justify their way of life to other people that just don't understand and don't like try to understand like their situation and stuff. But the backstory of like what actually happened, how they got into this situation, is actually like kind of sad. And there's a few like situations that happen as well. I thought it was going to be like a little bit more lighthearted than it is, but I'm intrigued to see where it goes and like how they come out of the other side from like some of the stuff that they have to deal with. Then we have a volume 4 of Marmalade Boy. So this is a classic shoujo that has been retranslated and is reprinted because it is out of print in the smaller paperbacks. But yeah, so volume 4 came out. I think, if I remember, that this was like slightly delayed, but there are some like colour pictures like included. There's just like printed on the matte pages, but I think like they carry really well, like the colours and everything. But yeah, so volume 4 is out now. I'm not entirely sure how many like volumes we're gonna get either. But yeah, so volume 4 is out now. Then we have volume 4 of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I love this series so much. So happy that we got the manhwa version of this. If you haven't like consumed this story like in any shape or form, there's like an anime, there's the novels, which is the original format of the story, and then obviously now we have this. It's an amazing story, BL. So yeah, I highly recommend that you pick this up in some form. But this is beautifully like presented from Seven Seas. You get the nice like little dust jacket, it's got a nice weight to it, and obviously it is in full colour as well. So we do get full colour edition of this as well. Like I say, there's 3 ways to consume this, so like definitely go ahead and pick one of them up at least. And then we have Training Mr. Sakurada. This is just a one shot. This is 18 plus, very mature. This is kind of, well, this is like S&M, BDSM story. It is quite comical. So this is about Sakurada, who is, He's a little bit of a sleazeball, to be honest. He is very like predatory towards women. Like he just wants to have a good time with anyone that he can. And there's another guy in his department at the office who is very popular with the ladies. Sakurada is not particularly popular. But yeah, this other guy, he's like great at his job, good looking, gets all the women, all of that sort of stuff. So there's a bit of like rivalry between these two. But Sakurada like finds it hard to actually be jealous about him because he's like so confident and everything. But yeah, so he's just trying to like get with these women, and then one day he wakes up in a love hotel strapped to a chair. But yeah, like I say, it's very spicy, but it's very comical as well. Some of the things that happen, just be aware that it is uncensored as well. Don't want anyone being shocked when they open it, but it's definitely a fun read, quite light-hearted as well. But yeah, so if you're wanting something like super spicy, then go ahead and pick this one up. Then we have volume 1 of Obey Me. So this is based on the mobile game. I've never played the mobile game. There's quite a bit of fan service in this, I feel like, but it's like a fun read so far. So this is about a human who gets isekai'd into a devildom, which is their like council is like the Seven Sons, which is like Beelzebub, Lucifer, Mammon, like those guys. So there's 7 like brothers. Basically, it's their responsibility to look after this human who has been isekai'd into devildom. It's a fun read, like it's not too deep of a plot or anything like that so far. The artwork is really nice. Like I say, a bit of fan service in there as well. So I'm intrigued to see where this goes, because so far we've only met like 6 of these, like the 6 of the brothers. So I'm intrigued to see like who the 7th one is, like when will we get to meet them. But yeah, so if you've played the game, you'll probably enjoy this. If you haven't played it, it's a fun read. Like I say, it's not too like deep or anything like that, but I did enjoy it. Then we have volume 4 of, I can't remember if this came out like towards the end of November or whether it did come out in December, but my pre-order got cancelled for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what happened. No, it did come out in December. But that is volume 4 of The Husky and His White Cat Shausen. So if you're looking for something a little bit more problematic than say having Official's Blessing, Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation, those, if you want something a bit more problematic, then you're probably going to enjoy this one. So this is also in the same universe of Remnants of Filth. If you've picked that up and if you're enjoying that as well, it's like the same universe. Like I say, it's one of the more like problematic trigger warning happy domains out there. But yeah, 7 Seas are like really killing it with their licenses, with like how many of the licensing is kind of also hard to keep up because obviously these are novels. But yeah, so if you're looking to add to the domain collection, then go ahead and pick this one up. So that's everything from 7 Seas. Not as much this time round. We're gonna move on to like a few like random volumes on Tokyo Pop as well. So the first one, before this got announced, I saw this everywhere on social media and it was like piquing my interest, and there wasn't an English license for it, and then shortly after Sublime announced the license of it, and it's finally being released, and it is early as well. It's supposed to be released in February, and that is volume 1 of Pink Heart Jam. So this is a 2-part series. This is about 2 guys at like uni, college, in the like music department, and this guy on the front, he is very sort of like recluse, sort of a bit introverted, doesn't really mix with the other people. And there's this other guy, Hager, he sort of like piques his interest. He wants to get to know like this guy, who this guy is, and on a mixer on a night out with like his college buddies, he basically wins a prize, and the prize is money, but that money has to be used on basically like a massage place. So he said that he was gonna go, and he wandered around a little bit, and he tried to find like one of the more like less seedy places, shall we say, and he goes in and he finds this guy, and he keeps going back to this place to try and talk to him and trying to interact with them. I really enjoyed it. It was a very good volume. Like I say, this is a 2-part story, but there is a sequel. I can't remember what the name of it is off the top of my head, but that also got licensed by Sublime as well, so hopefully we'll see the first volume of that come out like later next year, hopefully. But yeah, this is a really good first volume. I really enjoyed it. Then we have, finally, after like a year of waiting, we have the final volume, volume 3 of MADK, and it's a chunky boy. Yeah, this got pushed back so much, and it was like so hard to wait to see what happened at the end of this story. I love this creator's work. So it's the same creator as Our Torsos Align and Centaurs. The artwork is absolutely stunning. Like, I love the way that this person like draws their art. Like, it's so pretty, and I love Jay, like his character design. And so this is about a guy who is obsessed with like the occult, devils, that sort of stuff. So he tries to like summon his own like devil demon, and he's successful. He summons the highest level demon, and basically he offers up his soul, so he gets taken down into like the equivalent of hell, whatever. So yeah, and becomes a demon. It's very trigger warning. There's a lot of stuff in this series that happens that is not for the faint of heart. Like the first chapter is very messed up. But yeah, so we finally get a conclusion. I'm really sad with like the way that it ended. Was quite sad, and I can't believe like it's over now as well, like after like such a long wait. But it was really worth it. I loved this series so much. Like I say, the artwork is absolutely stunning. Like, if you like haven't checked out this creator's work, I highly recommend it. Moving on to Kuma, we finally have volume 2 of Happy Crappy Life by Harada. I love Harada so much. She's very problematic. Like, she just draws stuff. Like, she does not care what she draws. Like, she will just put out the most like extreme things, and this volume is no exception. This is one of the more like light-hearted series that she's done, that she's currently working on. I will say that there's a certain kink fetish that's mentioned in this one that is definitely not for like a lot of people. Yeah, I didn't even know the official name of it until I read it in this, so just be warned that there is something like pretty extreme in this, as you would kind of expect from Harada. But at the same time, this is such like a funny read, like, and it's just like quite silly, like some of the stuff that happens. But yeah, so this is about 2 guys who one of them gets to move out into the sticks out in the middle of nowhere, and his neighbor is this kind of like unemployed, like a bit of a bum, and they sort of like get on because they have something in common, and which often leads to fight about like they're both bottoms basically, and it often leads to fights of who is gonna bottom and top, which is really funny to see. But yeah, if you like Harada, definitely check this one out. Like I say, it's quite extreme, like all of her work. Next we have a one shot. This was delayed, like most of the like Kuma stuff is delayed, but I believe that they've only got like one like editor that has to do like all of like Kuma's and Denpa's stuff, so like stuff often gets like pushed back. But yeah, so we have the Ruthless Commander and the Reincarnated Warhorse. Finally had this one released. This is just a one shot. So this is about a guy who gets reincarnated as a horse, is out frolicking in the fields, living his best life until this commander guy, he basically is injured, stumbles along, and the horse saves him. And to reward the horse, he the commander basically captures him and takes him back and makes him his horse, his war horse. One thing leads to another, and the horse turns back into a human. It's not like a bestiality thing. He just like turned back into a human, and so it's about their relationship and stuff. I will say the commander is very toxic masculinity issues in this, but it's like done in actually quite an amusing way. But yeah, this was a fun read. Like I say, it's just a one shot, but yeah, definitely worth it to pick it like to read. Next, moving on to June, we just have a one shot, and that is finally the reprint of No Touching at All. So this is from the same creators, Twin Bird, Never Fly, Nights, and Even So I Will Love You Tenderly. Finally getting a reprint of this. It's been out of stock for like the longest time, and I know a lot of people want this one and Even So I Will Love You Tenderly, which is also getting a reprint, which will be out next year, because these are quite expensive and hard to find, like the first editions, but they've updated the translations. I haven't compared yet, like if there's any like massive differences. I can't really imagine that there is, but yeah, just to compare, so this is the new one that's just been reprinted, and then this is the original one. So they've just kind of like gotten rid of the border, which I'm kind of sad about, because I really like June's like borders that they print on, well, that they printed on their like one shots. But I know like yaoi is a very outdated term now, so I can kind of understand why they're sort of like getting rid of it. So yeah, if you've been waiting for this, then now's your chance to finally be able to go pick it up. And like I say, Even So I Will Love You Tenderly is also getting a reprint next year. Moving on to Tokyo Pop, they are absolutely killing it with their licenses, especially since they've had the new imprint as well. So this month we finally got the Black Cat and the Vampire Volume 2. I've only just got this one, so I haven't read it yet, but I really enjoyed the first volume. So this is about an all boys school where an incident happens where someone is attacked by a vampire, and it turns out that the school is basically full of them. So this is about two people that are students there, and like I said, I really enjoyed the first volume, so I'm excited to see how this wraps up, because it is the final volume. They just don't tend to, like Tokyo Pop don't tend to do like very big licenses, like long ongoing stories and stuff. So I hope with like this new imprint we will actually start to see more like longer series. But like I said, this is just a 2-volume set, but it is quite chunky. Like I say, if you like vampires, if you like BL, then go ahead and pick this up. It was a very good first volume, and so I have high expectations for the finale. Then we have a webtoon. I'm not entirely sure where you can read this. I don't think it's on Lezen, and I don't think it's on Tappy Tunes. So if you know, then definitely leave it in the comments down below, because I would like to know where you can read the rest of this. And that is Love, Murder, Basketball. This had been delayed a little bit as well. I really actually like the like a big like print, the larger print that Tokyo Pop's done with this. The only thing is is now I don't have anything on my shelf that is this size for Tokyo Pop, so I'm gonna have to find like a different place for it, but you know, that's by the by. So this is about a basketball player who is actually, yeah, I was just making sure that I wasn't going to spoil anything here, but this is about a basketball player who is actually a serial killer, and he has this complex relationship with this other guy who is like the son of this mafia. He's like the son of a mafia leader, so they have quite a complex relationship. This, you kind of need a palate cleanser after reading this. I haven't finished the full volume, I'm like halfway through, but yeah, you can just tell that you're gonna need to like read something or watch something that's like a bit of a palate cleanser, because it is pretty it's pretty hard going, so yeah, just be aware of that. Uncensored, and yeah, pretty, so far is kind of extreme, but yeah, as you can kind of expect from serial killer and son of a mob boss. But yeah, I'm excited to see like what happens in that and where it goes. Next we have Mitsuka Volume 1. I really enjoyed this. This is an ongoing series, so you can pre-order up to Volume 3 so far. So this is about two hosts. One is straight, however they have, well, they're basically living together. They have a bit of an agreement to take care of each other's needs. I believe that there's a sequel to this, which I think is just a one-shot, but it's only licensed digitally. They kind of, I think, gives a bit more backstory about how these two ended up, which I'm kind of a bit disappointed that Tokyo Pop hasn't licensed that. Like, maybe there's some issue with like getting a physical license or something, but when I read that there is actually like a prequel, I was a bit like, oh, like I'd like to know a bit more of the story. So unless like in future volumes we do actually get the backstory of how these two ended up together, then that would be good. So this this feels like that there's going to be quite a bit of hurt in it, between these two, but I really enjoyed this first volume. Excited to get the second one. Like I say, it's two like host sex workers that sort of like have this like complex relationship together. They both clearly like each other but aren't willing to like take those next steps. But yeah, it's not a like really thick read either, but yeah, I already need the next volume. Then we have volume 7 of Gentle Noble's Vacation Recommendation. This is a fun fantasy series that has a strong romance like feel to it. I haven't quite caught up to volume 7 just yet. I think I'm missing like a volume 5 or something. Like I'm still missing volume, so I've still got a bit of catching up to do. But from what I have read of this, like I have really enjoyed it. So this is where a guy gets isekai to another world, and he's just like wanting to go off on adventures and all that sort of good stuff, and he teams up with this other guy here. But yeah, strong romance feels to this one. Then we have Acid Town Volume 3. These have been coming out quite quickly actually. This is kind of like a hard read in some places. Like this poor guy here just hasn't had like the best life, and he's getting like mixed up in some things that like is not very fun for him. So this is in a world where there's like all these gangs that are basically like running the place, all that sort of stuff, and this guy is been trying to run away from someone else who has caused him a lot of pain and basically like pimped him out and everything. And then he has his best friend as well, who is actually like crazily in love with him. But yeah, it's just like nothing goes right for this guy, and it's like kind of sad. I haven't read volume 3 yet because I've only just got this one, but I just hope that like he gets like a happy ending. I like just want things to like start going up for him, bless him. Okay, so that's everything from Tokyo Pop and all that, so we're gonna move on to our last stack already. and that is Yen Press and Ice Press as well. Ice Press have actually had a few releases this month as well. So the first one we have Hirona and Kogura Volume 4. This is super cute. One of my like favorite creators. Definitely like one of my favorite BLs as well. Like if you like Sasuke and Mino, how can you not love these guys? These are just getting like more and more adorable together. Like the longer like their living situation goes on. And now we're finally starting to see like more feelings blossom between these two. But yeah, so obviously if you like Sasuke and Mina, if you want something fluffy, wholesome, then definitely go ahead and pick this one up. Like, you won't be disappointed. There isn't, like, the last volume of Sasuke and Mina had like quite a few like little side stories in the back, but like this volume of these guys is like all story, which I actually appreciate. Like, there's not like loads and loads of side stories in this one. But yeah, these are two super adorable. Then we have My Mate is a Feline Gentleman, and this is like a sequel, I guess. So this is the UK arc. So we had My Mate is a Feline Gentleman, which kind of like saw these two like how they met, how they got together and everything. So now they're in like an official relationship together. So this is in a world where there are beast folk, they are a minority, and in a world where there's omegas, but they're like kind of like few and far between. So this is where these guys basically get summoned over to the UK to go see his family, which is a complete disaster. I'm just gonna throw that out there, like Toshiro, which is the Omega, like he just keeps getting people like in his way and keep making like him feel bad, and he's already been through like so much. Like, if you've read the first volume, he's already been like through a lot and having to like deal with a lot of people that like look down on Omegas. So yeah, it kind of like doesn't get any better when they're summoned along to the UK, and it kind of like leaves on a bit of a cliffhanger, which like I'm not even entirely sure when the next volume comes out either. It's not available for pre-order yet, but yeah, I need to see like what happens, and like I need to know that these two are like gonna be okay. Then we have volume 2 of Glitch. I've just got this one as well, so I've not read this. This is a very intriguing story. It's kind of like very simple but effective artwork. I really like the artwork. So this is in like a little town where people see like strange happenings, like strange things that happen, like these shadows, and they call it like a glitch. And this new family sort of like moves in, and they start seeing stuff, and the kids like obviously questioning what's like these glitches are, and they're trying to find out more about them, where they've come from, what they want, because they seem to be getting like more frequent and bigger. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see what these are. There's a very, very adorable character in volume 1, so I'm excited to see them in this volume hopefully. But yeah, very interesting like story so far. So that's it from Yen Press, not a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to Ice Press. So I've really just got this one as well. I know there's a lot of people that were super hyped about this, and that is Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint of Volume 1 finally came out. I love this like soft velvet mat that Yen Press have decided to use. So when Yen Press announced Ice Press that they were going to be obviously dedicating an imprint to like manhwa's Korean content, I'm surprised that this wasn't like the first one that they announced, because it is such a like popular story that I thought it would have been like one of the very first ones that they announced, but it only got announced like a few months back, like this year. So this is about a guy who reads a novel, and it turns out he's the only reader. When he gets to the last chapter, the author actually contacts him and basically gives him some information. And then the next thing he knows, he wakes up and he's actually in that world. Like I say, there's a lot of hype around this, and a lot of people that like really wanted this to get licensed. So I'm intrigued to see, like, obviously what all the hype is about, because I know basically next to nothing about it. But yeah, all the licenses so far that Icepress have like been released that I've read, like, I've really enjoyed. So I also have very high hopes for this one. Then we have The Horizon Volume 3. This concludes this series. It is only a 3-volume series. It didn't need to be any longer because I don't think I would have been able to have taken it. Basically, this broke my heart, this blooming story. It's such like a difficult read, and what happens in this is so sad that I couldn't stop thinking about it for like quite a while afterwards. But saying that, it's such a good read. Like, I highly recommend it. So this is following 2 kids who are basically in this like post-apocalyptic kind of world where like the world's being ravaged by war. People have gone like mad. Humanity is all but like almost wiped out, and there's just like loads of military people. There's not like a huge massive amount of dialogue in this, but like you don't need it. Like JH does like a very good job at like evoking emotions through like obviously like the drawings and everything. But yeah, I highly recommend this if you want something that's like not very happy basically. And it's only 3 volumes, so it's not like a massive commitment either. Next we have volume 5 of Tomb Raider King. I haven't got around to reading this one again, just got it. Like I had an issue with like some of my pre-orders where like I didn't get them. But yeah, so volume 5 of Tomb Raider King, I really like this. I like the fact that the MC isn't like a goody two shoes. So this is about a guy who basically was employed by this big corporate CEO to go and basically go into these things called like these dungeons that pop up, and they have like special relics that grant the masters like abilities and stuff like that. And he gets betrayed by the CEO, and he basically gets killed, and he is sent back in time to before like the dungeon started popping up and everything, and he's basically given a second chance. He's got all of his like memories and everything of what happened, so he's got a good idea of like what's going to be popping up where. And he's basically out for revenge, which like as you would. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this series. Obviously, as you can imagine, him going back in time and going through the timeline again and stuff, things are definitely changing depending like obviously what he does. But yeah, this has been a really fun read. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this next volume. So the next one we have from Icepress is Dark Moon. So this is from Webtoon as well, like in conjunction with them and in conjunction with like J-pop groups, I think. Like they've released a series of like titles that have been in collaboration with like a bunch of like different groups. So this is a vampire story. I haven't read it yet, so I can't really like give too much about it, but it's a vampire story. I'm super excited. It's full colour, which obviously we like. So I'm excited to get into this because like I said, I love a good vampire story. And yeah, like I said, I don't know too much about it, so we'll see how I feel about it after I've read it. And then finally we have volume 2 of Jungle Juice. I really liked the first volume. This is a very solid volume, the first one, so I'm excited that we finally have the second one come out. So this is in a world where people have been basically given like insect traits and like body parts and stuff from using this special like basically jungle juice. It's called like a spray, bug spray, and there's this one guy who basically used it. He also got like a bug trait, which I'm not gonna like spoil anything, and he's been trying to hide it. One day he basically gets exposed and he gets taken to this basically like an underground world where it's full of people who have obviously used this bug spray and have like the insect body parts and everything. Like I say, solid first volume. Super excited to get into this second one as well. Definitely fun read, action packed as well, which we love a good bit of action, and from the looks of it like volume 2 is no different. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. Very, very good release so far. So that is basically everything from the new titles that I picked up in the month of December. Like I said, I've not managed to read everything yet. Like I spent about a week ill as well, where I basically just like vegetated, so I missed out on a lot of like reading time. Because of the holidays as well, I haven't received my monthly like VL order, so we're just going to get into the other things that I did pick up in the month of December. So the first one was Love is an Illusion. This came out like last month, but for some reason like I hadn't pre-ordered it, like, which is crazy. But yeah, so this is in a Megaverse. I think that there's like 6 volumes maybe of this. I'm not entirely sure like when it's going to conclude. If you did want to read the full thing, you can read it on Lezen, I think. Yeah, Lezen. But yeah, so I finally picked up volume 4 as well. I also picked up volume 7 of B-Stars. I've really been enjoying this series. I know that it's concluded now, 22 volumes. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this. I've been trying to like pick up volumes like as and when I can like sort of like get hold of them. Whenever I go into the store, I try to pick one up. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this series. I'm hoping like it's not going to be too long before I finish picking up the rest of this series. And of course, as mentioned earlier, I picked up volumes 3, 4 and 5 of In the Moonlit Dusk. I can't believe I waited so long to pick this up. This is like one of my favorite studios. Like seriously, it's so cute. Like it'll make you kick your feet and giggle like a little girl. With that as well, because I really like this creator. Like I said, I think they're like one of my favorite creators, because they do this, they do the Tsubaki Living Planet as well, which I love. So I went ahead and picked up their other work. So I picked up 3 volumes of Daytime Shooting Star as well. I haven't got around to reading this yet, but I know I'm gonna love it. So I picked up the first 3 volumes, so I can't wait to get into that. Like I say, if it's anything like the other works that I've read so far, I know I'm gonna love it. And then finally, this came out in October, but I hadn't picked it up, and then when I tried to, it was like out of stock in a lot of places, which was kind of disappointing. But I finally picked up Tomahawk Angel volume 1. It's a lot chunkier actually than what I thought it was going to be. You can read this on Tapas, I think, and there is a colour version as well that looks like really nice. Like I really like the artwork. I haven't got around to reading it because I've just got it finally. But yeah, the artwork looks pretty dark, but I've heard a lot of positive things about it, so I'm really excited to get into this one. It would kind of be cool if they did do a print of the colour version as well. I think I'd pick that up as well, because I had a little look on, like I said, on Tapas, and like the colour, like the colours that it used look absolutely incredible. So yeah, that is everything that I picked up in the month of December. Like I say, there's a few titles that have been delayed for a little bit. Obviously with the holidays happening, there's a few that have been posted that I haven't received yet either, so they'll be in next month's haul, along with my BL haul, the out of print one, that'll also be in January's haul. But yeah, that's everything that I picked up. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. If you are, don't forget to like and subscribe. It would really help out the channel. And I shall see you in the next one. Bye everyone.